Hey, everybody. I hope and pray that you're doing well today as we come to our word from the Word. And today that word is fix. Fix. Now, those nice little pictures of those plastic toys, not going to fix a lot. And too often we act like that's the tools that God gave us to work with to fix the things that He has put before us here on earth. But the truth is, He's already fixed it. He's just asked us to go tell everybody that He's already fixed it. As some commentators have put it this way, that every other religion says you need to go and do this, do that, do this, do that. The gospel message says it's already done. And man, there is such a difference there. So as we come to Second Corinthians chapter 5 today, come to the end of the chapter and you see this wonderful and beautiful message of reconciliation. Reconciliation, bringing two parties that had been separated, bringing them back together. So those two parties, God and sinners. The reconciliation came by way of Jesus Christ. And if we, as believers, have experienced the reconciliation of God, then it's our job to share it with others. And that's what Paul was getting to. It's a beautiful message. Let's just jump right in verse 17, where he begins to talk about how these old things, our old way of thinking is gone. Something has changed, and now we need to share that change with others. So Second Corinthians chapter 5, verses 17 through 21 today. Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, he is a new creation. Old things have passed away. Behold, all things have become new. Now, all things are of God, who has reconciled us to himself through Jesus Christ, and has given us the ministry of reconciliation. That is, that God was in Christ, reconciling the world to himself, not imputing their trespasses to them, and has committed to us the word of reconciliation. Now then, we are ambassadors for Christ, as though God were pleading through us. We implore you on Christ's behalf, be reconciled to God. For he made him who knew no sin to be sin for us, that we might become the righteousness of God in him. Man, that last verse is so powerful. Made him who knew no sin to be sin for us. What a sacrifice of Jesus Christ. What a sacrifice from God, a love of God to send his son, Jesus, to die on that old rugged cross for you and for me. And see, that beautiful message is that God did reconcile the world to himself. He was bringing everybody back together. Now, as you hear that, he's reconciled the world to himself. And if you remember John 3:16, right? For God so loved the world that he gave, then many would say, oh, okay, well, everybody's going to be saved. No, what it is he knocked down the barrier. He knocked down the wall that was keeping us from coming to salvation. And he did that by way of Jesus Christ. So he has made salvation available. And God, in his love, and also, if we're going to be honest, in part of his judgment, is allowing us to make the choice. Will you choose to accept him? Will you choose to accept Jesus Christ? Or will you refuse to accept him and then refuse the gift, refuse the reconciliation, and just simply continue to go your own way, even though God has already sent Jesus in your place if you would trust him? But you could turn away from all that and then live your own life the way you want to, and then spend an eternity in hell, separated eternally from God. Now, if you think about that and think about what a beautiful message the gospel truly is, the way that we tell people that God has fixed it. God has fixed your sin problem. right? And you say, well, wait a minute, we're still struggling with death and with sin and with struggles and temptation, and look at all the evil in the world today. Yes, it may look like now that it's not fixed, but we can look ahead. We were talking about that yesterday. He talks about it at the beginning of chapter 5 here, that we're looking ahead, knowing that in God's time, He has already fixed it all. He's already made a way. So when we come to share the message, the gospel message, when we are being the witnesses that we ought to be, it's not a message that we should be ashamed of. It's not a message that we should sugarcoat. It's not a message we should downplay at all. It is the message of reconciliation. It is letting people know that, hey, we are all lost sinners and we would all be eternally damned to hell if it had not been for Jesus Christ. But since Christ came, now there is a way to go to heaven. There's a way to have a relationship with God, and it is coming by way of Jesus Christ and Christ alone. As Jesus said in John 14:6, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes unto the Father but by me. When we share the message, we say, look, here's where you're going, but that doesn't have to be where you end up. And when we share that message, we get to share that God has already fixed it. And yes, coming to Christ won't fix all your problems here on earth. Oh, but it gives you somebody to take all your problems to. It gives you somebody to rely on. It gives somebody for you to trust and place your faith in it and to live your life for Him instead of yourself. That's why it said there, we started in verse 17. Because when you come to salvation, behold, all these old things have passed away. You are a new creation, getting to start all over again. And that's a fix worth sharing. God bless you, and I pray you have a great, great day.